you. You've just told me all of your secrets.
I
I know
haven't.
that you are. I know that
What
you
secrets?
are. I'm not going to say them on camera because they're too scandalous.
So we've been having a lot of Shakespeare synchronicity recently, haven't we, Beth?
We have the bard,
The bard.
not the Peter Davis bard.
The real bard.
Well, yeah, if you choose to follow that narrative.
Anyway, we're not going to discuss the authorship debate.
We're not. You've already done that anyway. So we are going to discuss roughly attributing zodiac signs to Shakespeare characters.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, I mean, this is the kind of thing that does like occupy my brain when I'm out running or whatever. It's the kind of thing I like to think about, really. Well, it's fascinating, isn't it? Because it's like a universal principle that we all kind of want to, even if we don't necessarily sign into believing in astrology, we all kind of want to know what our astrological makeup says about us. There's kind of that curiosity is piqued even if we don't buy into it. And also Shakespeare as well, you know, everybody, even if they don't know a play, they know a song or they know a character, they know a reference. There's kind of like that broad, you know, appeal, isn't there?
So how long have you been thinking about this?
Oh, well, decades now, really, but more intensively, I think, for the past few months, just as a bit of kind of fun, really. When I'm not thinking about what people in my house are going to eat for dinner or something like that.
Because we did the zodiac signs and about dating them, which was extremely popular. So you've been looking at Shakespeare plays and star signs and attributing characteristics of the zodiac to characters in Shakespeare.
Yeah, basically, loosely, and this is purely subjective and just my conjecture, and actually is something that if anybody else wanted to discuss at greater length, this is the kind of thing that I would enjoy talking about. So any other input is welcome. There's no official narrative.
Okay.
But yeah. So if we start with the first sign of the zodiac,
which is Aries.
Obviously Aries, the child of the zodiac.
Yeah.
And I guess if Aries had like a tagline or a slogan, it would be a fighter, not a lover. So it's pretty obvious, I think, that Tybalt from Romeo and Juliet is going to be an Aries.
Okay.
Because he is the ultimate fire starter, fight starter. I mean, he says, like, peace, I hate the word as I hate hell, doesn't he?
For those who don't know, what's the character Tybalt?
Tybalt is Juliet's cousin.
Juliet's cousin, okay.
Yes. And he basically wants to start fights, does that exceedingly well. And Romeo actually kills him, which obviously further complicates Romeo and Juliet's burgeoning romance. And that's the reason why Romeo is banished to Mantua. But Tybalt is just basically exceedingly angry and wants to fight all of the time. And is also very impulsive, a risk taker, hot-headed, impetuous, you know, kind of the child of the zodiac, which ties into all those Aryan things.
Yeah.
So he would be my key character for Aries qualities. The other one, I think, if we're trying to make it a bit more balanced gender-wise, would be Catherine from The Taming of the Shrew. Certainly at the start of the play, when she's basically the one that they are, you know, trying to tame, because she's the older sister, Bianca's the younger sister, and they're looking to sort of like marry her off to Petruchio, aren't they? And she's wild, especially for those times. She doesn't want to do what she's told. She wants to kind of rebel. She's quite happy to have an argument with anybody, which obviously was kind of, you know, very much frowned upon contextually then. I think she's compared, what is the quote? Something about being waspish. And she's like, well, kind of feel my sting then. You know, she embraces all of those things. I don't quite know what happens to tame her really within the play, but by the end of the play, she's like totally different. She's quite submissive and she's sort of happily married and is, you know, quite willing to be subordinate. But certainly at the start of the play, she's Aries. She's like, don't tell me what to do. It's, you know, I is the personal pronoun for Aries. She's like, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Because Aries connected to Mars, isn't it? And Mars energy.
Exactly.
Martian
it's a warrior planet, isn't it?
Yeah.
So those are my Aries characters. Which brings us on to the second sign of the zodiac, which is Taurus. So that's our sign of fixed earth. So it's all about being grounded, practical. It's kind of long haul, in for the long game. It's kind of realistic. And it's about not kind of getting sucked into kind of superficiality or superficial behaviour. So for me, the main character is Cordelia from King Lear. Because obviously King Lear has 3 daughters, Goneril, Regan, Cordelia, and he's like, tell me how much you love me, tell me how wonderful I am, I want to hear it all. And Cordelia just says, I love you according to my bond, no more, no less, which actually is, you know, is true, is steadfast, is honest, is loyal. It's not what he wants to hear. And then throughout the course of the play, as Lear's life just gets progressively worse, obviously, because he's behaved like a total fucking idiot, she still stays kind of loyal and steadfast to him. So it's that kind of like constant, unwavering support. The other character that I think's got a bit of Taurus as well is Friar Lawrence, again from Romeo and Juliet, because I can't remember the exact quote, but paraphrasing it, something about like he who runs fast or something stumbles. You know, he's basically kind of advising caution, like think it through, don't make rash decisions to Romeo and Juliet, which obviously falls on deaf ears. But yeah, there's definitely that.
But Taurus is a stubborn, slow-moving sign, isn't it, in itself?
Yeah, I mean, because it's fixed and it's Earth, so it's the most kind of fixed of all of the fixed signs.
Yeah. Another bit of synchronicity here is that yesterday, as you know, I went to the Morva Pasty Day Fair.
That looks great.
To document it. And halfway through, I went and got a pasty, and I ate it in the churchyard, and I sat down at one of the gravestones to sit on it. And on the gravestone, the person that was buried was called Cordelia.
Oh, really? I do like that name.
It's a lovely name.
Yeah,
I did actually take a photograph of that as evidence of that. So yeah, that's just another little bit of synchronicity there.
Yeah, I like that name a lot, actually. Which brings us on to Gemini.
Right.
Thinking about names, words, playing with words. So Gemini, third sign of the zodiac. So that's our mutable air sign. And it is just fun, it's playful, it's flirty, it's banter, it's kind of like jumping around, flitting from one thing to the next. And 100%, I mean, it's ruled by Mercury, so it has to be Mercutio from Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
Because he is like, he's fun, he's bawdy, he's witty, he's like quick as lightning, he's rude as well. So many of his puns in the play are like real sexual innuendos. You know, there's that one about, I can't remember, he's like, unsheathe my sword from its scabbard. And, you know, there's all kind of like, you know, thrusting going on. There's something about, I can't remember, it's like pricks for pricking, you know, all of those things going on. So that he's 100% that. I mean, it doesn't end well for him, obviously. And he then curses the Montagues and the Capulets with a plague on both your houses, understandably. But yeah, he's that lightning quick wit. Also, he does that speech about like Queen Mab, doesn't he? And the fairies and that kind of. Gemini are almost also like a bit otherworldly, like not quite of this world. Do you know what I mean? It's like kind of flitting above, flitting around. So I also think Titania from A Midsummer Night's Dream has some of that about her as well. It's that kind of like almost shape-shifting,
ethereal
fluidity.
Quality, and also it's a bit Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it, their behaviour?
Yes, exactly. I think you wouldn't necessarily want to cross them because they're fun, but then it can also just change to being quite, you know, vengeful if it's not all fun anymore. You know, that's like which side of the coin are you going to get? So those are my Gemini characters. Okay, that'll do for now.
Good. Well, let's have a little break.
Have a little break.
Then we come back for Act 2.
Yes.
Act 2, Scene 1.
Scene 1. I feel like there's fairies in this garden. So the fourth sign of the zodiac is Cancer, which is our sign of cardinal water, ruled by the moon. And this is an easy one because it's all about like immersing yourself in feelings. It's all about being ruled by the heart rather than the head. So it's just so obvious to me that this is about both Romeo and Juliet, because they are just like immersed in a sea of feelings and and just kind of have really poor judgment about the situation. Like, I mean, they choose to be, you know, betrothed to each other so quickly, despite not even like, I know you probably wouldn't back then, although people probably did, like having had sex with each other, didn't even know if they were compatible or not. I mean, certainly at the start of the play as well, Romeo is just in love with being in love because he's still heartbroken over Rosaline. And then suddenly he just falls in love with Juliet like that. So it's just like this, their emotionality is their vulnerability. They just feel too much. They're just swimming around in this absolute pool of emotionality and making poor judgments and just being too sensitive and not really thinking about things, just going with what they feel, to be honest. And it's kind of ironic as well, because Juliet, I think, in the famous like balcony scene, tells Romeo to swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that's changing, because she says don't swear by that. So it's kind of ironic as well, because it's got that pull of the fact that they're both just, you know, so changeable. So I think the two of them just embody that Cancerian kind of sensitive.
Do you think so?
Vibe.
Because when you think about it, Romeo, like the whole archetype about being a Romeo, is just being like flippant and insincere and just wanting to like be in and out of love, and it didn't really matter who the woman was.
Yeah, and I don't really know where that's come from, because I mean, I don't think he's like a massive wooer, really. I don't really see what he does
Wooer. Good word.
To woo her. He just sort of like appears, and it's that kind of like, you know, star-crossed lovers, isn't it? Their eyes meet and that's it. It's like a done deal. It's not like he even like works hard at it. You know, and he says to Benvolio, doesn't he, his cousin, he who jests at scars never felt a wound, you know. So he's been hurt before, but he's still like up for it again.
How old were they, Romeo and Juliet? Like 16?
13 or something.
Really?
No, well, I mean, certainly Juliet was like 13 or something. And she's very Cancerian in that she's tied to like house and home, which is a very Cancerian thing. It's like the domestic, the domicile sign, and she's, you know, got that very strong maternal bond with her nurse. So for me, those two really kind of embody those characteristics.
That's interesting, because when Francis Bacon decided, as you know, I believe Francis Bacon to be the true author or running the Shakespeare project, when he had a fake marriage, he married a 13-year-old girl. But that's probably just a coincidence.
Well, is there such a thing as, or well, you know,
So you think they're both Cancer?
I think so. I think they share that over predilection for sentimentality.
God, that's a good phrase. Predilection
for sentimentality. Yeah, I think so.
Good
definitely. Which
brings us on to the big one.
Brings us on to Leo. So we're with Leo fixed fire sign, that we both share a lot of love for, but they're absolute fucking arrogant, self-centered nightmares.
Yeah, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Who have this like massive dose of hubris with a kind of prevalent fatal flaw, and they just want people to praise them and tell them how magnificent they are, and just kind of like stride ahead in a leadership role with everybody looking to them for guidance.
Yeah.
So clearly that's King Lear.
Right.
The king who famously had 3 daughters, decided to divide up his kingdom, his monetary worth, his estate, and ask his 3 daughters which of them loved him the most, and to illustrate the ways, using language, that they did love him. And obviously that ended spectacularly badly for him. He lost everything.
Yeah.
But gained insight, which perhaps he didn't have, because Leos have this kind of like brash exterior. You know, that kind of like lion, I'm going to fight you, whereas inside they might just be like a tiny little kitten. So King Lear is very, very Leo. Definitely. There's a lot of childish behaviour with Leos going on.
Is there?
Oh, definitely. Yes. They are.
But we're not childish when we're Leos.
I think we are quite childish. I mean, some of the conversations that we've had recently are pretty kind of puerile, like reducing things to bodily functions and things like that. That's quite childish, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah.
But
I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people dislike or envy Leos, is because they're so spectacularly charismatic and beautiful people.
Yeah, sort of.
I think other people are just jealous of them.
Really? Even if they don't like consciously recognise that, it's like a repressed envy.
Yeah, they're just attracted to them.
Yeah.
For a reason. But,
They're just like, why can't I be like that, striding around the garden?
Exactly.
The overgrown garden.
Well, the servants haven't been in.
Well, I mean, yeah, that is very King Lear, isn't it?
Exactly.
Wanting to sort of,
And of course, the younger daughter was called Cordelia.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, even when King Lear had then given away his kingdom, divided between Goneril and Regan.
Between who?
I knew you were going to say gonorrhea. Goneril and Regan.
Goneril.
Goneril. Goneril.
Okay.
It does sound like gonorrhea.
I'm just thinking about the gonorrheas of Camborne or Carnello Green.
Well, you've got
which we're not going to talk about.
You've got some spectacular gonorrhea just up there.
Have I?
Well, it's running rampant.
Bloody hell.
You should get that looked at.
Yeah. Get some cream. Rub it on it.
It's probably a bit late for that, to be fair. So even when he'd given away the kingdom between those two, the elder two, he then still just travelled around between their houses with 100 knights, which just really fucked them off. Then they were like, Dad is out of control. We need to just get rid of him. Do you want him? Do you want him?
Yeah.
It's that kind of
large gesture, really.
Yeah.
Over the top.
Yeah.
Largesse, good word.
Thank you. So yes, the other Leo character is also Oberon, is a massive child. Obviously from A Midsummer Night's Dream, he's very kind of he gets jealous of basically the attention that Titania gives this changeling Indian boy that she's bought. And jealousy is like a natural human emotion, isn't it? But the ways in which he tries to deal with it are exceedingly childish, and that is quite Leo.
Is it?
I think so, yeah. I think it can be. So, yeah, they like to sort of be in charge.
Yeah.
Like people to look to them for answers. But maybe it's just because they do have the answers. Don't know, up for debate.
Okay.
A sign that loves debating is Virgo. So that's our next sign, the 6th sign of the Zodiac. So we're looking at mutable Earth, Virgo. Focused, analytical, thinkers, detail-orientated, really good kind of organisers, acts of service. So I'm looking at Hamlet for this.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Really? Why?
I wouldn't have thought Hamlet was a Virgo.
Okay, what would you have put him at?
I might have put him as a Gemini.
Oh, really? What, because looking at two sides of the thing, to be or not to be?
Well, multiple sides, really. Definitely split personality. But anyway, why do you think he's a Virgo?
It's that over-analytical, overthinking,
yeah,
obsessive quest to kind of, nail the fact that it was his uncle who killed his dad. It's that real kind of trailing through all the evidence.
Yeah.
Going through the nitty-gritty, not just acting on a hunch, needing to be sure, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but his cruelty to Ophelia is something that strikes me as probably not a Virgo trait.
No, I suppose it's the fact that if you believe something, then the end justifies the means. I think, he was acting on the evidence that he thought that he had. There is an obsessiveness to Virgo.
Yes, I get that.
That meticulous, I will see this through to the end. Every list will be ticked off. This will be made right. That kind of finality to it, I think. They're not going to leave a job half done.
Yeah.
I think that Shylock from The Merchant of Venice is also giving me Virgo.
Really?
Yeah, it's that kind of measuring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pound for pound.
Yes.
It's that kind of counting it out, needing to be sure, detail.
Yeah.
Measure obsessed.
Good shout with that one.
Thank you.
You got a lot of Virgo in your chart, haven't you?
Yes, I have, actually, yes. As we know, I've got a Virgo stellium in my chart. So I've got all my personal planets and my North Node and my Saturn in Virgo. So that's a hefty Virgo dose.
It is.
So I tend to overanalyze and overthink everything, which is frankly exhausting. So I feel massive sympathy for other Virgoans who identify with that. That's a lot.
What do you mean that's a lot?
For now.
We're going to go and eat?
We are. Well, once I've cooked. We don't really eat raw food. That would be bad.
Okay, well, we'll do the second half. During or after?
Well, not while we're eating. That would be off-putting for people. Like maybe while
well, they'd just be jealous. They want to be there at the kitchen table with us, wouldn't they?
Well, maybe.
They would be there having a Leo supper.
Yeah, they would, obviously. So, sign number 7 of the zodiac is Libra. So that's our cardinal air sign. And kind of their traits are that they are people-pleasing, indecisive, maybe a bit superficial, possibly a bit shallow. It's about the exterior rather than the interior. And I'm going really kind of off-piste with this one, which I feel like people are not going to see coming. But when you actually hear my reasons why, I think it's a well-reasoned argument. I'm going Macbeth. People are like,
Macbeth?
Yeah. People are like, oh, Macbeth killed King Duncan. He must be like a Scorpio or an Aries. He just like got in there and did bad things. But no, you've got to think about why he did it. He did it because he wanted a shiny crown. And the status that afforded him, didn't he?
Yeah, quite a lot of status.
He also did it because somebody else told him to do it.
Oh, we all know who that was.
Lady Macbeth.
Right.
Yeah, so he did that to kind of, for a quiet life.
Yep.
So that people pleasing, like, all right then, I'll just get on with it. I'll do the deed. Yeah?
Yeah.
He also vacillated about it for quite a long time.
Vacillated?
Is this a dagger I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Should I do it? Should I not? You know? So it's that kind of indecision. He obviously fucking freaked out and had like some full-on mentee bees afterwards.
Full-on what?
Mentee bees, mental breakdowns.
Okay, yeah.
Like when he saw Banquo at the table and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a really resolute Scorpio or Aries wouldn't have had that happen. So he has that. So I think there's definitely an argument for Macbeth being quite Libran. The way in which he goes about it, his reasons for doing it, what he wants to get, and it's not his idea. Like, he's talked into it, he's bullied into it, he's pressured into it. So I feel like there's quite a lot of that going on with Macbeth, really.
I think that's a good shout, actually, having known Librans.
Right, and what would you say your experience of
Well,
them is?
they tend not to be like activists in their own right, as so much as like, I don't know, I do find them a bit indecisive, and I think they are people pleasers, and they don't really take responsibility for their own actions. That's just my own perception.
The other character, I think, kind of embodies like the female characteristics of Libra, in terms that it's ruled by Venus. It's kind of like those Venusian qualities of like
Venusian,
beauty,
I like that.
femininity, pliability. Is actually Bianca, the younger daughter from The Taming of the Shrew, because she's just lovely. You know, she's beautiful. She is everything that, you know, the stereotypical feminine should be. So I think she's the other one that I'd put kind of under the Libra banner.
Because Libra is ruled by Venus, isn't it?
It is, and Taurus is as well, but slightly, in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
So, as I've kind of controversially gone out on a limb with Macbeth and said he's not a Scorpio, whereas people think he might be, that brings us on to Scorpio. So on our 8th sign of the zodiac, our fixed water sign of Scorpio, ruled by Mars and Pluto. And for me, it can only be Iago.
Iago?
Yeah.
In Othello?
Yes. Because he's just like, if you imagine a giant striding across a chessboard, do you know what I mean? Picking up people, like playing with their emotions, that kind of like wanting to just like psychopathic play around with people's feelings. Like, I'm going to stir some shit up here. I'm not really even quite sure why, just because I can. It's that like, let's just see what happens, and like that emotional intensity but emotional detachment at the same time.
Yeah.
And really seeing it through to the end. You know, it's like no matter what the consequences, I've started this, so I'm going to be very precise in the way that I execute things.
Yeah.
And
I'm just wondering whether Iago, I mean, would be that calculating, which I think Scorpio, I mean, I think the dominatrix is a perfect archetype for a Scorpio female anyway. Wondering whether Iago will be that calculating or just be an impulsive killer, like a mercenary.
Yeah, that's true actually. So you think he might not have the premeditated nature?
Well, almost the enjoyment in making people suffer.
Yeah. Yes, I can see what you mean there actually. So
almost like a sadistic streak in. Not that all Scorpios are like this, of course. There are some very nice Scorpios.
Of course there are, and absolutely some very lovely Scorpios. Scorpio energy can be great.
Sure
but they are emotionally intense, and that could be a really good thing if they're on your side.
Yeah.
I'm sure that can feel very nice. If you were to experience that, hypothetically. So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe Theseus and Hippolyta, that kind of like playing out play within a play type thing.
Yeah.
Let's just watch them. I don't know. Up for debate.
Good
That's
shout.
Interesting,
Good
isn't
shout.
it?
Yeah.
Definitely. Should we do one more quickly?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so Sagittarius, mutable fire.
Right.
Playful, optimistic outlook. Kind of impulsive rather than impetuous, because that's more Aries. It's obviously puck, isn't it? It's puck. It's quick. It's like, I can put a girdle around the earth in 40 minutes. That's what he says, isn't it?
Right.
And he doesn't need any encouraging really from Titania to kind of fuck around with the mere mortals.
Mere mortals, I like that.
Exactly. That's what Sagittarius is like. It's the joker. It's the fun boy. They're not actually gonna really care too much about fucking around with other people's emotions. There is that bit of detachment, that bit of fun, that frivolity. You know, it's ruled by Jupiter, so it's Jove, it's the jester.
Yeah.
It's, you know, this is all fun and games. So let's just see what happens. It's that kind of like chaos energy.
Yeah.
And also that open-mindedness, that broad-minded, expansive type of thing. For me, that can only be Puck, just having a really rollicking good time.
Yeah,
kind of agent provocateur. Exactly. Yeah. 100% broad-minded. Can only be Puck.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Better check the food.
Okay.
Could you pass me the oven gloves, please? Thank you. Probably is very ready now, actually. Yes, it is very, very ready.
Great. Greek tart.
Just put it on the table.
Look at
I
that.
need to add a few bits to it. Get the veg out as well.
That's amazing. We've got there capers, tomatoes, puff pastry.
Yes, I'm just going to add the
courgette.
Decent quality. I add an aubergine that was grown in Camborne.
The Camborne aubergine.
It may not be.
Is there just one there?
The only one. I don't know. All I know is that it was grown in Camborne. So.
Did you purloin it?
I didn't actually, but I purloined the courgette, so that was quite exciting. It does give me an extra frisson when
I was just going to say frisson.
Purloin.
Great minds think alike.
They do indeed. So
what, you're crumbling some feta on there, squeezing some lemon.
Bit of oregano.
Oregano.
Did you say oregano?
Oregano.
Isn't that American?
Yeah.
Why did you say that?
I don't know. Just to be different, I suppose. To be contrary.
Maverick.
Oh,
controversial.
Squeezing that lemon. Got a good squeeze there, Beth.
Thank you.
Juice coming out all the time. More oregano. Just a pinch.
Excellent. And then we've just got some big beans to go with it. Gigantes placky. My pronunciation is obviously...
Somewhat.
The big beans.
Big beans, yeah.
Butter beans, gigantes placky to go with it.
Gigantes placky.
That's it. You knew it more than me. We've got some nice olives. Basically, we haven't been blessed by melons today though, have we? here.
Been blessed by what?
Helios.
Helios. Beware of Greeks bearing gifts.
Unfortunately.
Where's that from? That's not Shakespeare,
know.
is it?
Is it? I don't know.
No, it's not Shakespeare.
Who is it?
It's Virgil.
Oh, I haven't read that.
That's
I read Homer, but not Virgil.
Yeah. God, we're so well read, aren't we?
We're so intellectual, aren't we?
We've got really intellectual gravitas.
I actually have got intellectual gravitas.
Well, you have. You've got it tattooed.
Yeah, on my leg.
On your leg, yeah.
On one side
on
of
your
my
thigh. On your comely thigh.
Is that true, sir?
It should be.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we're going to eat now.
Yeah. All the journals as well, and like a commentary, and I also got Jean-Paul Sartre on Jean Genet.
Oh, Jean Genet, he was a man.
Yeah. Well, he's a man's man, wasn't he?
Mm.
Many good books, and they're literally, I think I got 11.
11 books?
But it was absolutely like chucking it down with rain, and I had bought the umbrella, and it was quite a walk back, so I had to kind of prioritise me, my child, and the books under the umbrella, and I don't really want to talk about
Did you all get under the umbrella?
Order that I prioritised those things in. I think I was at the bottom of the pile.
Mm.
But some really, really good ones, actually. Yeah. So that was exciting.
So we're back with a bard.
We are. So Capricorn?
Yeah.
We're going Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Which is obviously the 10th sign of the Zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at cardinal Earth. So Capricorn is like ambitious, determined, kind of shrewd, businesslike, ruthless, goal orientated. So again, for this, it's controversial because, as you know, I controversially said that Macbeth was a Libra rather than a Scorpio. Mm-hmm. So normally Scorpio pole position is either Macbeth or Lady Macbeth, but I'm going Lady Macbeth, and I have discussed this before with my Lady Macbeth tattoo. I touched upon this briefly once. Is 100% Capricorn. Now the reason for that is it's contextual, isn't it? So she has no status, no power, nothing that makes her life of any worth, merit, kind of nothing that gives her any status, power. And so she wants to be that mountain goat, getting to the top of, ascending to the heights of things. But the way in which she does it is calculated, so it's premeditated. So she makes a plan and she sticks to it. And she is decisive. She's like, if it were done, then for well, it were done quickly. Not only that, she kind of prioritises rationality. So she says to Macbeth, think not about the milk of human kindness. She's like, think about rationality, not emotionality. It's got to be done. Let's just get on with it. It's that business-like approach to things.
Cold, emotionless, and
calculating.
Yeah.
But like a necessary kind of calculation. I'm not justifying her actions. I'm not saying it was a good idea to murder King Duncan. Obviously, it's not. But she's definitely Capricorn in the way in which she executes things.
Mm-hmm.
So she's my main Capricorn player.
Right. She's
Team Capricorn in my mind. Definitely.
Well, do you identify with her in any way?
I like her, and I feel like I shouldn't, but I do. There's something about her that I like. Macbeth is my favourite Shakespeare anyway, so I'm probably a bit biased. And I've used to, when I was teaching English, there's a fantastic version called Macbeth on the Estate, which I used to have on VHS player, which Ray Winston plays King Duncan.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And it's set on like a Glasgow tenement estate. And I must rewatch it actually. And her in it, she was just this kind of beautiful, like quite pikey, gypsy looking, but fragile at the same time woman. It's that vulnerability. It's that like that keeping your head above water. It's like, I'm doing shit things, but I'm doing them for survival. So I find her maybe not likable, but relatable.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Does make sense.
So yeah, and fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's depth to her.
Hence the tattoo.
Hence the yeah. It's not my most recent one actually. Most recent one is here, but yeah. But that again is Nick Cave.
Mm-hmm. And what does that say?
Well, that's from Into My Arms by Nick Cave, and I believe in love. But I believe in love, and I know that you do too. But a bit of the letter has come off because I had a sweaty run afterwards. But it's fine, I can get it retouched.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
Not a bad job.
Don't fret about that. So yeah, and I feel like I'm very impetuous in my tattoos, and I feel like Lady Macbeth probably would be too. She'd be like, shall I, shan't I? Yeah, let's just get it done.
Yeah.
So yeah, no dilly-dallying.
Dilly-dallying. I love that.
Which takes us on to Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
So number 11. We were just talking about the number 11 actually.
We were.
Love the number 11.
Yes.
It's a very magical number, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So the 11th sign of the zodiac is Aquarius.
Yeah.
So we're looking at fixed air. And they are dilly-dally, kind of magical, otherworldly, other realm, kind of detached from reality slightly, ruled by Uranus. And for me, 100%, your Aquarius is Prospero from The Tempest. Because it's like he's human form, he's human qualities, but he can also control the weather, control what other people do. There's that like detached aspect to him, where it's very kind of like magical, fantasy, quick change, you know, lightning bolt interaction, I think. I think that Prospero is your ultimate Aquarian. Mm-hmm. Definitely. The magician, I think.
The Magus.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And actually the final sign of the zodiac, Pisces, so our 12th sign, which is just like floundering around in a primordial soup.
You're not a fan of Pisces, are you, Beth? You've been a bit disparaging about them in the past.
No, I've had a lot of relationship experiences with Pisces men. When I was younger, I was always very attracted to Pisces men. And obviously those experiences were not always successful, because I'm not obviously married to a Pisces. Or in a relationship with a Pisces, but that obviously some element of them must have been, you know, more than satisfactory, or I wouldn't have kept doing it. Actually, I don't know, but anyway, so Pisces is obviously mutable water, so it's emotional depth. It's like not quite knowing what they feel or what they're going to do next. There's no boundaries. It's like this primordial soup of emotions, and also it's this kind of like over romanticizing the past, which was Ophelia is Pisces.
Right.
You know, she's just floating downstream, Rosemary for remembrance. It's like just naming flowers when you could be doing something useful. It's like everything.
Like get into a nunnery.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, Pisces is a devotional sign. It's acts of like mysticism, devotion, introspection. That's also Pisces, you know. Also Miranda, if we're thinking about The Tempest, is very Pisces as well. In a positive way, in that she kind of like is in this shipwrecked on an island with like a monster living in a cave who's been trapped in there by his witch of a mother. The dad's a bit like mental. You know, she's got nobody to turn to for company, so she just daydreams. But that is very Pisces. It's that kind of like escapism. You know, it's like not facing up to reality. But you know, Pisces can be great as well in terms of their, you know, traditionally ruled by Jupiter, modern ruled by Neptune.
What does it mean, Jupiter?
Jupiter is broad-minded, expansive.
Right.
So Jupiter also rules Sagittarius, but traditionally ruled Pisces until obviously the other planets were discovered, and then Neptune is now the modern ruler of Pisces, which is kind of that, you know, veiled intuition, dreams, escapism, possibly like druggy, alcohol-y, you know, where is you know, the line between reality and fantasy. It's, you know, not knowing quite where one ends. It's that merging of things, which is great if you've got time to just be creative and do that kind of stuff, be a musician, be an artist, faff around and be a genius. But if you've got to face up to kind of, you know, real life and who's going to go to Tesco's, not so good.
What, big Tesco's or little Tesco's?
Big Tesco's gets a bit expensive, so I think it's best to just keep it to little Tesco's.
Got 2 Tesco's in Camborne, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you get spoiled if you go to big Tesco's. You can buy like candles. Pisces would be splashing out on all the candles there. You've got to keep it focused. Small Tesco's with a list, and then you get a lovely meal like the one we've just eaten. Purloined from, well, not purloined. I didn't steal from Camborne Tesco's, but I stole a courgette from a field.
Where'd you get the aubergine?
Well, that was actually from the Kelland farm shop in Camborne, so it was grown in Camborne, which I found quite charming.
It was slightly misshapen.
Yeah, but you don't eat with your eyes, really, do you? But did it taste nice?
It tasted great.
Good.
Wonderful meal.
Lovely.
Well, Beth, all's well that ends well.
So they say.
To quote Francis Bacon.
A pretty player struts and frets his life upon the stage. Sorry, I just made it a bit more depressing.
Well, all the world's a stage.
I agree.
Okay, well.
On that note, what's that one about? Is rounded with a little sleep. That's the Tempest, isn't it?
I don't know, it sounds good though. Shall we retreat to the cave?
What, with Caliban? Yeah. Okay. Well, the summer house.
Yeah.
With the cat.
Shh. Don't mention the cat. Don't mention the pussy.